What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. And I saw some nonsense that's so nonsensical that I thought I was being punked. Remember the senator from Hawaii, I think her name is Senator Hirono, who said, men should just shut up and step up. Yeah, her. She was doing an interview the other day, and she had the nerve to tell us, or tell the audience, that the biggest problem with the Democratic Party is that they have a way of speaking to people here, but not here. See, they're intellectual, and they're able to speak to people's mind and stimulate their mind, but they're not able to stimulate their heart. And apparently that's a bad thing, because according to her, the Democrats are so smart. They're always the smartest, in the room, and they have to tell people how smart they are. Well, that's news to me. For the simple fact, every time I hear one of them open their mouth, all I hear is comes out. That's it. That is it. In the words of Ricky Bobby. So for her to get up there and make this claim, I thought it was amazing. And I said to myself, well, let me start going back down my memory, down memory lane. And check in with some of the deep intellectual approaches that the Democrats have had concerning some major issues in America. Okay, let me start off with maybe gun control. Okay, now, see, because they're so intellectually sound and they speak to our minds and not our hearts, they're able to tell us that when a gun shooting takes place, that we should not evaluate some of the things that contributed to allowing that person to get into that place and do what they did, or we should not even explore any options to put some things in place at those places, like schools and things like that, where it will make it hard for people to get in. Yeah, those are practical ideas. Those are things that if you wanted to speak to people's mind, you would say something like, well, you know what? If we installed metal detectors and gave qualified teachers the right to have a concealed carry and made sure that there were adequate armed, police officers are on site, we probably could shut down any possibility of somebody getting in there with a gun and starting to open up and shoot all the kids in there, right? But no. See, they want to bunny hop over logic. See, that's what they're bunny hopping over all the logic and going straight to the emotional, meaning this. They came in and shot up a whole bunch of kids with an AR-15. Obviously, the AR-15 is the problem. Let's go get that gun, everybody. Now, to me, that's not logical. You didn't speak to my mind. You avoided the problem. You avoided giving a practical solution. You're redirecting my attention from real solutions to a gun, as if the gun is the problem. As if the gun is the one that said, man, I'm about to go jump in my ride, drive down to this school or go down to this club and start shooting up everybody. Yeah, I have to think if there was a grading scale of common sense and logic concerning that, they would be F. If there's anything lower than an F, then maybe put the minus at the end of the F too. So that's one topic. And nobody has ever on the Democratic Party appealed to my intellect concerning that. What about illegal immigration? Okay. I haven't heard a Democrat step up and say, you know what? The immigration laws that we currently have, they encourage lawlessness. They have loopholes in them that need to be updated so we can avoid people taking advantage of us, lower the crime rate for the Mexico cartel, keep people out of danger because we encourage them and give incentives for them to track through the desert with the kids, drop their kids over walls, things like that. And we could do something to make sure they can't get over here and the ones that have bad intentions end up killing or hurting Americans. These are all practical approaches that if I was a Democrat that appealed to people's mind and not their heart, I wouldn't be up there saying things like, it's about parents being ripped from their kids and people just simply wanting a better life. Well, can you tell me why this is good for America and give me some solutions to solve the problem? No, because you know why? You need to focus on them just simply wanting a better life. I'm not going to make any sense. That's not my job. My job is to speak to your emotions and your heart, not your mind. But according to her, that's the problem with the Democratic Party. They're so smart. They like to speak to our mind and give us practical solutions to make us say, I never thought about that. That's a wonderful idea. We need to look at the fact that they need a better life and they're leaving a bad situation, and we shouldn't be ripping the babies from their parents, even though they broke our law. And we do the same thing to Americans when they break our law. But forget about all those facts. Because you're so intellectual and deep, you just gave me the solution to it. Yeah, just look at it through my heart, my emotions, but yet you're telling me you're speaking to my mind. What about the travel ban? Okay, we have, they said, you know what? It's obvious that racism is a problem. Terrorism is a problem, but it's not the same problem Donald Trump's trying to make it seem like. Okay, so basically, what you're telling me is you're going to approach that from a practical viewpoint, because Donald Trump said, hey, let's not bring over 250,000 refugees from Syria that we can't vet, because that would be the biggest Trojan horse ever. And what did they all say? You know what? You're a misogynist and you're racist, you're anti-Muslim. Yeah, and now you're invoking a Muslim ban, even though the majority of the Muslim countries weren't on that ban, and the ones that were on the ban had a large amount of terroristic activity. And President Obama put them on that list as well, even though when we wrote it out, it wasn't called a Muslim ban. It was a travel ban, even though we know that ISIS and several other groups were saying, we're going to infiltrate America because we're going to take advantage of them not using this, but using this. See, we know there's a large group of Democrats out there that's so anxious to paint their opponent as a racist, they're going to sit back and trump common sense just so they can make Trump look like a racist. So then when that subject comes up where Hillary Clinton and her emails were saying, hey, you know what? That's dangerous bringing all them over here because we can't properly vet them. But she gets on stage in a debate and says Donald Trump's a racist because he won't help these people. It's all about just helping people. Yeah, you know what that speaks to? This, not this, but yet they're so intellectual. How about the North Korea situation? Yeah. Let's just go ahead and turn a deaf ear and let them go ahead and continue to make nuclear weapons. And we can't be hard on them. No, we have to be very gentle when we talk to Kim Jong-un. Yeah, we don't want to give some ultimatums. We don't want to show him at the end of the day, you got to make some choices, Kim. No. We want the choice to be his to make. It's like raising a kid and letting them make their own choices. And most of the Democratic leaders, they probably feel that's the same thing too. Yeah, just let them raise themselves, okay? They'll make the right choices. So I guess they want to just give Kim Jong-un unlimited time to come to his senses and say, you know what? Developing nuclear weapons and threatening the whole world and holding them hostage is wrong. Yeah, that's what they was waiting on. So Donald Trump was too mean, when he approached them. They wanted to approach the situation like we've always approached it. Walking it down, slow walking it, kicking the can down the road, making idle threats and stuff like that. That seems like somebody who thinks with this and not this. And then my favorite one, here's one. The Iran deal. Wow, now that was an intellectual one. Yeah, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead, come up with a deal to where we're going to give you all the money up front because we just trust. We trust that you're going to do the right thing, okay? All we want you to do is stop your program. You don't have to tear it down. Just stop it, okay? You can restart it after a couple years, after this, just whatever agreement we have, expires. You can start it then. But for now, just stop it and we'll revisit it later on. And we're going to give you the money up front. Now, can we come and inspect it? No, we can't. Okay, so we can if we give you a call ahead of time, give you a couple months maybe to hide it and clear it all up, right? Okay, cool. That's cool with us. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and fly in another trainload of money and give it to you, jumpstart your economy, even though it was collapsing, even though we could have just held out, even though we could have just sided with our number one ally in the Middle East, Israel, but no, we didn't care about them. We could have did all that, but we didn't. So we just give you the money up front, then bring another plane load of it in as well. Yeah, and we're not really able to hold you accountable to stopping your program. We can't even investigate it. We can't even come in and snoop around unless we tell you we're coming. Is that okay? Does that sound like a party that approaches a problem like that with this? No. With this. And then of course we got social issues like health care. Yeah, you know what, we just want you all to have health care on paper, on paper, but the premiums are so high you won't be able to use it. But at least it makes it look like we're helping everybody. We gave you all a credit card with no credit on it, though. Go ahead and swipe it and see what happens. Hey, thanks, though, for giving me the credit card, but there's no money on this. Yeah. Or what about this one? Finally, gender neutrality. Oh, yeah. That's a logical approach to dealing with science. Oh, you want to jump on, well, the scientists say the global warming's taking place, even though we have no scientific data for that. But y'all want to invoke all these scientists that y'all employ and say, you know what? We're going to fund your research, but you better come up with some results to make sense for our agenda. Okay, that's what we're saying. Yeah, so if I'm the scientist and I'm getting millions of dollars to research, yeah, I think the climate is changing. We're still looking into it, but we're seeing signs of a pattern, a shift. Yeah, but getting back to gender neutrality, you want to jump on science when it comes to global warming, but then when it comes down to gender neutrality, yeah, stick a mic in one of the Democrats' face and see if they approach it with this or that concerning that topic. Do you think there is more than two genders? Yes, I do. Is that an intellectual approach towards that? I'm pretty sure by now, since we've been evaluating and able to tell the difference between men and women for 6,000 plus years, by now I think I can tell the difference between an apple stem on the apple or not. And I'm pretty sure we've come to the conclusion that there are men and that there are women. But according to the Democrats, how could you do this? You know what you are? You're transphobic. Yeah, you can't do that to people. You have to let them make that decision. You have to be in tune with their feelings and allow them to tell you what gender they are. Yeah, and throw off their delusion on you and make you be delusional. Yeah, that sounds like it's a pretty intellectual approach to me. Yeah. Oh, how could I forget this one? I'm sorry. The more I go on and start to unravel this and think about her statement, let's go back to her during the Judge Kavanaugh trials. Okay. How about this? Because we have no evidence and because we just dropped this lady out of nowhere, just flop right out of nowhere. Man been in public. I received 7 FBI background checks. None of this stuff came out. But now we want you to just trust this lady who drops all this intel out at the last second, along with Michael Avocado, who brought some other people in. We're supposed to just trust all of them. And even though they have no collaborating witnesses, none of that stuff. No. He's guilty because she said he's guilty. All right. We don't want evidence because evidence requires you to use this and not this. We want you to listen to her story. Look at her. Don't she look sad when she was talking? And then I went down there. Can I have a drink of water, please? All of that's what we want you to look at. Yeah. And come to the conclusion that obviously this man's wrong. Yeah. That sounds like what she's describing as, you know what our problem is? We speak to people's mind. We're so intelligent. We have to start speaking to their hearts. That's what we have to do. Become more sensitive and in tune with people's hearts, which is garbage. That is nothing more than it's direction. It's projection. She's saying, you know what? We really approach it from the heart standpoint and identity politics, because that's all identity politics does, is it makes you think with your heart and not your brain. Gets you distracted about issues that aren't real issues. They're just fabricated issues and inflated issues and isolated issues, but they make it seem like it's a worldwide epidemic. And then it gets you all emotional and it makes you make decisions with this versus this. So that was a little bit of sleight of hand, misdirection. That's all that was. She was saying, look up here while they're doing stuff down here. You're not fooling me, Hirono. Okay, same lady who said, yeah, we don't want evidence. You know what men need to do? Just shut up. Yeah. Well, now you need to shut up there talking crazy on trying to give us the old okie doke. I'm hip to your tricks, your trickery, your tomfoolery, okay? Anyway, God bless you. Find me on Facebook, Twitter. Check me out Wednesday nights live on my radio blog talk show. The link's in the bottom, and live on YouTube. And then also check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. The link is in the bottom. Promotional code is my first name, Kevin. And then finally, if you want, you can donate to Kevin's Corner. The link is in the bottom to do that. Don't forget to hit like, share, and notification button. God bless. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.